Hi, this is Topsticks, and I am so honored to be here with more than drummer. Thank you for having me. Such a great opportunity and a great privilege. I do not take for granted. Thank you so much. So, yes, the first question. Well, I would say the grace of God has been evident in my life. I am a product of grace. And one of the pivotal moments I can really remember is when I moved to Lagos State. God connected me supernaturally to my spiritual father, Bishop S.P. Faith, pastor of the Breast of Life Ministry, where I am currently serving. And I remember the early days. I came in like one local champion for Ibadan. I had, zeal. I had this passion for drumming, and but I wasn't so exposed to contemporary gospel drumming. In fact, I couldn't really score songs professionally, and the journey to professionalism started. I started working thoroughly on my craft. I started doing a lot of exercises, and I would say that's one of the major moments that really transformed my drumming skill. I began to prepare myself for the global stage, not just my local community. In fact, a lot of things that we're not exposed to in the church music over here, I had to start exploring them, scoring contemporary songs, infusing chops and all that. I started learning everything when I moved into Lagos, and to God be the glory today is a whole different ball game. And then maximizing the social media also helped put me on the global scene. I I always tell my proteges that don't be scared to put your work out there, even if it is not at the peak, at the best that you expect. But push yourself there, let people criticize you, and you pick out the constructive criticism, you work on it to improve yourself to become better, and then you post it again, you see, people's comments and observations, and then you use it to polish your craft. And those are the things that have really helped me. I'm someone that really receive criticism positively, even if you are using it to, try to calm me down. I use it as a stepping stone to get better, and that's what has helped me so far. Thank you. On how I've been able to manage challenges. Well, one of the major challenges I can say is being a female in a male-dominated field. Gosh, growing up at the time I did, it was I was the only female drummer that I knew. The only time I met a female drummer was virtually. I met her online. At that time there was no internet like that, so I had to go to cyber cafe to do research, to even just watch drummers videos. So I stumbled on this lady, Shayla Escobar, and I was like, so I am not the only one. I know that gave me a push to move ahead, but physically around me there was no other female drummer. I happened to be the only one. So that alone was enough challenge for me, because I felt I was in a wrong space. I felt I was doing something odd, something awkward. It was it was odd. And annoyingly, a lot of people around me do not even understand why the drums. I myself did not understand. But I can't deny what was inside of me. Drumming for me has always been a natural talent. Nobody taught me how to play the drums. I just started playing the drums. And I myself was surprised, like, oh, really? So I can play this. I started combining my four limbs without anybody teaching me. I started playing grooves. Once I hear it, I'll be able to replicate it. It was kind of strange. But that is the one of the tips to know that this is an innate talent. This is something that is inborn, is natural. But of course, over the years, I had to work on the crafts, because oftentimes when God gives us talents, they're like seeds. So it is our responsibility to water it, to nurture it, to see that it grows and become better. Because whatever God does is forever. And the part of it, just like a shining light, shines brighter and brighter until the perfect day. So you cannot say, okay, God gave me this natural talent, nobody should, improve on it. No, no, no. It has to get better and better until the perfect day. Even Jesus had to go into the temple to study with the teachers of the law and doctors of the law. He had to study before he started his own ministry. So several I've had several people helping my craft, over the years to the level I am now. But that challenge of being odd, so to speak, was a challenge I had to overcome. How did I overcome it? By not letting the passion die. And I told myself something. I said, if I am the only female drummer around, that means there is a vacuum somewhere. Why is it that females cannot play the drum? So a lot of females that desire to play the drum are killing it because there is nobody like them playing it. So I'm going to stand out. So I'm going to stand out and make myself the example other females who have this kind of passion will look to and say, if Topsticks can do it, I can do it too. If Topsticks is playing the drums, then I am going to play the drums too. So I gave myself that challenge that I will rise and be the number one female drummer. And I thank God that today, that is the living testimony. We have the drum queens, to attest to that. A lot of females that I've not even met, both locally and globally, God has used my life, you know, pursuing this craft to impact them. And even beyond females, I heard of a guy, in fact, he told me himself, a drummer, is a male drummer in Ghana, who said, I was one that inspired him to start drumming. And I'm like, wow, how? He said, when he saw me playing drums, like, a lady is playing drums like this, what am I doing? And he went to pick up the sticks. And today he's a fantastic drummer, who has traveled around and all that. And I'm grateful to God for that privilege. So, any challenge you're facing, that is attacking your craft or trying to put a bridge between you and your assignment, don't give it a chance. Give yourself that self push. In fact, that was another thing. There was nobody around to push me and fan me and say, yes, you got it, go. Everybody was saying, stop, go and sit down. That is not your place. But I had to find that inner push. And I had to drive myself to say, Topsticks, you can do this. And I thank God, by the help of the Holy Spirit and inner zest, self determination, hard work, diligence, consistency, we are here today. To God be all the glory. Thank you. Education for me is a very vital tool. You know, Education is an enabler. It is not all it takes to be successful or to be great, but it plays a vital role in laying a strong foundation for success. Education helps to broaden your horizon, it helps to expand the way you think, it helps in building your creativity. Because, for example, now, if you study music or you study history like I did, we end up getting a certificate that is, titled Bachelor of Arts, because you are not just an historian. You didn't just study history, and you are limited in scope to history. What did you study? We had to borrow courses from other departments around the Faculty of Arts to be able to become a Bachelor of Arts holder. So as you're studying history, you're borrowing from English, you're borrowing from other departments to do what? To expand your mind, to broaden your horizon. And then you are meeting people from other fields too, and you are learning from them. So by the time you are graduating, you are well-rounded in any art-related, field. And that's the same thing when it comes to music. Education helps to broaden your horizon. It doesn't limit your scope. It doesn't limit you. And should I go on? And in life generally, don't limit yourself. Success is achievable if you give yourself that opportunity not to be boxed, not to be locked up in a box. And one factor that I know that can help you to be able to think creatively outside the box is education. Now, education is not limited to the four walls of the school, which a lot of people assume. Of course, it helps because going to school forces you to read because you have exams to write. So even when you don't want to write, when you don't want to read, you have exams tomorrow. You have to stand up and go and study. So education, the four walls of the school forces you to read, but it's not limited to that. Education is what you learn, your environment, the people you relate with. Now, musicians, especially drummers, because I am one, we tend to relate more with ourselves, which should not be. Yes, of course, because of your field, you might have more drummers in your network, but expand it. Expand your network beyond musicians. You cannot have friends that communicate your language solely. They're going to be limited in scope. How about having some doctors as friends? How about having some pharmacists? In fact, if you're organizing a concert, who are those that are going to come? Is it the people that do the same thing that you do? Yes, they will appreciate it, but the people that don't even understand what you're doing are going to be more wild. I've met a lot of people, some men that are in business, and they come for my concert, they come to watch me perform, and they're like, sometimes I look at you and I'm amazed. How do you combine all those things? They can't understand. But when a drummer comes for my show, what do they see? They're like, see that chore, see that 30 second. But guess who pays the bills? The non-drummers, the non-musicians. So you need to expand your mind, widen your scope. That way you'll be able to give yourself more room. And aside that, education also helps you in negotiation skills. I must say that because it has helped me. When you're in a room, when you're negotiating for a job, for a contract, or for a gig, the the more exposed you are, the better your ability to negotiate. You think beyond your drumsticks and the drum set. You think bills, you think investment. So when you are negotiating, you negotiate with that at the back of your mind. And when you are asked to defend what you're negotiating, the way you communicate is what will earn you the job. The way you communicate is what will make the person that wants to pay the money you're requesting for trust you, that with the way she spoke, I'm sure she can deliver the job. So I would encourage people to, musicians particularly, don't play down on education. Remember, it's not limited to the four walls of the university. You can learn from everything around you. Surround yourself with positive people, surround yourself with people that are forward thinking. Don't surround yourself with narrow minded people. And as a musician, expand your network. Don't limit your network to musicians alone. Expand your network and meet people from other walks of life that can strengthen you as a human being and make you become a better version of yourself. And also surround yourself with musicians that can also help you improve. More importantly, trust God who has given you that gift to connect you to the right people. Be careful of people that you bring into your circle. Not everybody wishes you well, but God will give you the wisdom to manage relationships and be able to keep the right one and sift out the wrong one. Don't throw away the place of the Holy Spirit who gives us inspiration in all things. And the Bible says the Spirit searches the deep things of God. He knows the heart of every man. So when you work closely with the Holy Spirit, it's going to help you understand the motive of everyone coming into your circle, and you'll be able to know the right relationships to keep and the ones to discard. Thank you. Monetization, quite sensitive. Well, I will not give you a black and white tip to monetizing your craft. You can find that online. Go and follow them. If it works for you, fine. But I see this thing I do as a calling, as an assignment. So I will not say, in fact, which is it? I didn't start drumming because I wanted to make money. I started playing the drums because I just loved it. Anywhere there's drums, I will go. Even if I have to borrow money to transform myself there, I will go. At a point, I was even taking some crazy risks where I would come to Lagos from Ibadan. I will not know how I will come back home, no money, no nothing. And I don't even have an idea of the number of days I'm going to stay, how I will feed. But I just want to come because there is a program, you know. And it wasn't about the money. It wasn't a money driven thing for me. And as I grew up and began to, make money, I began to understand more about this assignment. It, it became more about impact for me. And trust me, I have made money and I'm still making money from this craft. How? God pays my bills. When you are on God's assignment, it will never leave you stranded. It pays my bills. I go for gigs and I get paid. Some I negotiate, some, especially if it's a church or a gospel, I just leave it open ended. And people, some have disappointed me. You expect them to pay very good on honorarium when you see a big, church, and you end up going on with God bless you and maybe buns and puff puff or something. But it's part of it. It's part of it. For me, is ministry. There are some places I've even gone to that I have to sow into the place because it's a calling for me. But God always pays. I've said this in different platforms that I've gone for an event before. I was to perform in a company's event and I negotiated a particular amount. And by the time I finished performing, they doubled the amount they were to pay me. They invited me to the other states they were going to, which I didn't even know about. And then they upgraded my hotel room and my flight. I came on economy, I flew back on business class. Why? Because of the impact. Now, even if you are going for that gig for free, make sure you don't play down on the impact. You don't know who will be in that congregation. In fact, it might even be children's program. You might think that children are there and they are not paying me. Let me just do anyhow. One child there might be a relation to a senator or a governor or somebody or to a pastor. You don't know. So when you have any platform or any opportunity to be a blessing, don't put money before you. Listen, money pursues purpose. Money follows assignments. Money follows impact. So what impact are you making? What results are you birthing? If you look at the most successful people in the world, the likes of Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and all of them, how do you think they are making their money? Or how do you think they made their money? By impact. They prefer solution. Most of us in this part of the world, we tend to look at the problems rather than look at the solution. I said something earlier. I said I saw myself in a space that felt I was alone. And to me, that became a challenge. Rather than seeing it as a problem and just back out, I saw it as a challenge. Okay, now let's provide a solution to this thing. I'm going to work on my craft to see that anywhere I stand, people will recognize that a drummer has arrived. And other female drummers will look at me as a light and say, I also want to do this. And because of that, the results, the impact that has made and is still making is getting the monetary returns. So I would say purpose, discovering your purpose, making impact to what God has given you, money will come your way. There are so many tips online you can follow. I believe they work. I see this as a ministry, and God has been faithful, He's been paying my bills. Of course, I have other streams of income. I serve in a local church. I'm also an academic and all that. Also, I'm involved in speaking engagements and stuff like that. So those other things bring in money for me. Don't limit yourself, like I said earlier. Don't put yourself in a box. The more you expand your horizon and explore the opportunities all around you, there's no limit to the money you can make. And most importantly, make impact. Money will definitely follow you. People that run after money, they never catch up with it. But people that run after impact, money will always pursue them. Thank you. Okay, future visions. Well, the Bible talks about line upon line, precept upon precept. I did have a roadmap per se to how I got here, and I believe the future is in the hands of God. But notwithstanding, I'm someone that believes in goal setting. I'm someone that believes in writing things down. But the Bible says, write the vision down, make it plain that he that read may run. So for people to work with your vision, of course, any vision that without people will definitely not stand the light of day. You need people to work the vision. And for people to be able to work the vision effectively, they need to understand the vision. So first, you need to write down the vision. So there is need for planning. There is need for you to understand what you're called to do. Then you can now begin to plan. But don't plan in your head. I will say that carefully. Plan in your spirit. Because a lot of people have, it's like wishes were horses, even beggars right. A lot of people have dreams, goals, aspirations, but yet they've discovered that it is far from reach. So you need to depend on the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. The Bible says the inspiration of the Almighty gives him understanding. The inspiration of God will give you the right way to channel your craft. It will give you the right people to work with. And that's the only way you can make a lasting impact. So for me, it's been a journey of just total dependence on the Holy Spirit. Coming to Lagos, I just felt in my spirit that I'm done with Ibadan. Like I'm done. I'm tired. I felt like there was something more to music and to my life that I don't even know. So I spoke to my pastor then in Ibadan, and he was like, "Okay, if you feel that's the next direction, go." Now, okay, now you have been released to come to Lagos. Where do I go to? I didn't know. And I'm not someone that then was like a prayer warrior like that. So, but I just follow my heart. So I was just trusting God that God will, hey, help me in Lagos, Lagos, Lagos. So one of my friends just called me one day and was like, Topsticks, do you want to come to Lagos? I was, how do you know? Yes. And he brought me to Lagos, to Breath of Life. That was how I met my home church now, Breath of Life Ministry. I met my pastor, and I saw music in a whole different. I'm like, what is this music? This is the kind of thing I've been hungry for. And it took years before I could even blend to understand how to play. Because I had to unlearn and relearn for a number of years. I had to change my rehearsal routine. I had to register in a music school, which of course my pastor insisted upon. I had to further my studies because by the time I joined, I was already a graduate. My pastor said you have to further your studies. So I did my master's, pursue my PhD, and everything has brought me here. The videos we shot, the how many of video usually I remember, OMO ENIYAN, the Trailblazer song that we translated to Yoruba. It was an inspiration that just came from prayers. And the pastor was just like, "You're going to do this video," and I'm like, "No," but I've tend to follow the Holy Spirit, and somehow that video, boom, went viral. It wasn't planned, but somehow we followed the leading of the Spirit. Then in 2019, we went into videos of doing drum covers to some gospel song, and somehow it also went viral. So saying that a lot of foreign artists, like to type beds. I did a cover of a song. I saw a DM. I'm like, God has done it, and a lot of Nigerian gospel artists, Minister Sonny Badu, they all started reaching out, and it was mind blowing. I didn't even expect it to go that loud. I was just, following instructions. So that has been my life. Now, for the future goals, I'm dependent on the Holy Spirit totally. Of course, I have dreams, I have my aspirations, I have things I've written down. But irrespective of that, I'm totally leaning on the hands of grace. There's a level where you're flying and the plane will get to a cruise mode. That's Topsticks right there. I like to move on the cruise mode. I don't like struggles. Even the drum queens that was birthed, I will not say it was my idea like that. It was one of my daughters. I just said, can you create a community where females can come together, female drummers? We want to know how you got to where you are, and challenges that we cannot even ask a male counterpart that we want to ask you. I said, okay, I'm not into social media things, but if you can create the group, I'll come on board too, be a blessing. And the next thing, she and myself were on the group. Today we have almost 200 female drummers on that platform. I'm like, where did y'all come from? From this country? And we just concluded our Drum Queens Festival, and it was bam! It was wow. God has been so faithful. So I have dreams, I have aspirations, I have goals. I'm trusting God that I'll be able to touch the world. A few days ago, I was praying and I said, God, I want you to anoint me afresh. That when I play these drums, the blind will see. You said God will do exceedingly abundantly above what we can ask, think, or even imagine. What eyes have not seen, what ears have not heard, what has not entered into the heart of man, what has not happened before with drums. I want you to do it through me. That I'll play these drums and the blind will see. Those are my future plans. The name will work. I don't want it to become a tool of entertainment. I want it to become a tool of impartation, of transformation, of healing, of miracles. Those are my future plans. I trust God that one day I'm going to host, Top Six Live in concert, Old Drum Queens Festival in big, you know, places like O2 Arena. You know what I'm saying? In Nigeria, we can pack stadium, full and all that, and have hundreds of female drummers playing at the same time. I have all those dreams, and I'm also trusting God to be able to own an institution, not just music institution, but a full-fledged university, to be able to. There's a lot of things overhauling our university education needs. I'm trusting God that I can be a blessing to this country to bring that to play. And of course, because I'm a musician, we're going to have a music academy that will be able to address some of the hues in the music in Nigeria. We need to get to a stage where we are producing. Of course, we are already there now because a lot of things are changing in the Nigerian music industry, especially in the gospel arena. A lot of things are changing, improvement, excellence is being embraced, and I also want to be part of that move. I'm trusting God that drum plays will be able to inspire more female drummers who are giving up, who are not able to discover their talent, to rise up from the shadows, and will be able to raise even millionaire drummers from this, community, and inspire the male community as well. I'm not leaving you guys out. Trust me, I love you guys, and you've been a blessing. Also, I also want to be a blessing to be able to impact more people through the drums I play, through the events that I host, and also I also have the Leadership Academy, which is Top Secret Leadership Academy, where I inspire and challenge young people to think outside the box through total dependence on the Holy Spirit to become the best version of themselves. So those are some of my future dreams and goals. Some of them are already in view. We're hoping to take it better and take it global. Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure. God bless you.